What's up, folks? It's Dr. Remy LeBone. I'm coming at you once again from the X-Layer to provide you my reaction to the latest episode of Twin Peaks Season 3, The Revival. This is episode 16 of 18. We only have 2 episodes left, folks, and it feels like we only have 2 episodes left because a lot happened in this episode. This is probably my favorite episode of the entire series so far. Had some really great moments in it, some really great reveals, and a lot of sort of interesting twists that I may or may not have seen coming. I did see some things coming, and I'll mention those, of course. Anyway, great freaking episode. So, of course, we start with the creepy Cooper stuff, right? Mr. C driving through the desert, approaching the outskirts of Twin Peaks, apparently, where the coordinates have led him to some weird rock. He's there with Richard, who we now know is Audrey's son, so Richard Horn. And you know, it's weird what happened there. He sent the kid to the coordinates on that rock, and then he got electrocuted and eventually eviscerated. Like he just turned to nothing. I don't know what that was. It looked like some sort of booby trap of some sort, maybe, or maybe some thing that was intended to kill Mr. C killed his son, and maybe it was coded to his DNA in some way, and that's why it killed his son. So that was one of the big reveals we got, was that the kid is, in fact, not only Audrey's son, but Mr. C's son, which is something that I speculated a couple of weeks ago in the episode when we saw Richard first meet Cooper, Doppel Cooper at the, what was it? It was like that weird kind of like gang hangout that involved like an arm wrestling match to gain control of the gang by Mr. C. Anyway, so yeah, I assume that maybe it was possible that Mr. C was the father, and it turns out he is. He said, "Goodbye, son," after the kid disappeared. So that happened. Oh, we also had, so if that kid is Audrey's son, what we had was Audrey's uncle. That, you know, we've seen him running throughout various episodes through the forest, and now we finally see him get somewhere, which is here. He got to the same spot as like his, I would say, great nephew. Because, okay, so Audrey is, so the dude is Audrey's uncle. This is Audrey's kid, so it must be Richard's great uncle, right? Like that's who that dude is. Anyway, the fact that he was there may or may not be important. It may just be sort of like a random sort of absurd moment that David Lynch just wanted to kind of sprinkle onto that scene, but maybe not. Maybe there's some meaning to it, and we'll find out about that the next episodes. The last 2. Boo-hoo-hoo. Sad. I'm sad about that. Anyway, so we got that reveal. All right, then we had that fucking... Okay, so, wait. All right, so we find out first that Cooper... Not Cooper, but... Well, we know he's now Cooper, but... Which is the next big reveal. But Dougie was indeed electrocuted. He is in a coma in the hospital. And at the same time, Chantel, Jennifer Jason Leigh, and Tim Roth, who Mr. C has sent to kill Dougie, go to his house. A lot of weird shit happens there. We see the FBI show up. We see the gambling brothers show up. And of course, Chantel and Jennifer Jason Leigh and Tim Roth are waiting to kill Dougie. And then we have that really great sequence where the neighbor drives up, who is some sort of accountant, based on what his car says. But it turns out that he's actually a trained killer of some sort. And it just happened to be that he rolls up on these 2 assassins and starts to screw with them because he says that they're in his driveway. They, of course, fight back. A very impressive firefight breaks out with semi-automatic weapons or automatic weapons. And Chantel, Jennifer Jason Leigh, and Tim Roth are killed in a spectacular fashion. And it was very unexpected and interesting and entertaining, and just another one of these sort of tangential kind of branches of story that don't necessarily lead anywhere, but like are super entertaining. So just again, more of like David Lynch, first tying up the series nicely. Like I feel we're getting somewhere, right? A lot of progress was made this episode, but at the same time, like he's still creating interesting moments for the audience, even when the moments aren't about like the central story and like the things that you're waiting for, you know. It's more about like, let's just do something interesting over here, you know, and which, you know, we don't need to, but why not? Like, let's make it interesting. Like, we need to take out these assassins. Let's make it like this weird freaking situation where this other assassin type guy rolls up on them, and then they have this assassin war, and then everybody, well, at least the assassins get killed. Anyway, love that stuff. Love the way that all that went down. I think right after that we had the wonderful reemergence of Agent Cooper, right? Agent Dale Cooper. I didn't know it was going to be such a great moment, but it was, man. It was a really fantastic moment to finally see like Agent Cooper wake up and be Agent Cooper, and Kyle MacLachlan, like, he just played it exceptionally well. It was just so organic and natural, and it was Agent Cooper. It was Agent Cooper 25 years later. You know, he's not all fucking distraught. Oh shit, I went into the Black Lodge and I've been in this different dimension and different body and all this weird shit. No, it's like he's on top of it. In fact, he knows a lot more than we know at this point. He knows about what's going on, what's been happening to him. Like he mentioned this thing, the seed, which seems to be some sort of means of creating maybe like other people. Like it appears Evil Cooper created this like fake Diane. So if he created fake Diane, where's real Diane? I'll be asking that in a second. But anyway, great fucking moment. Everything with Cooper waking up and like his interaction with his family and like his sort of taking control of the situation and laying out his own plan, like it was exhilarating. And like you heard the fucking Twin Peaks theme come up. It was like, this is the moment that everybody's been waiting for, and it was really satisfying, really well done. Then we had that fucking dope ass sequence with Diane. So she gets that text from Evil Cooper, right? We assume it's Diane, right? And then we hear that fucking music. I forget where we heard that music before, but I think I forget where it was, but it was another sort of sinister moment, right? So it's like you knew something fucked up was about to happen. So Diane goes to talk to the other FBI agents, right? Gordon and the other two, and she's going in and out of like what she's expected to do, and I think like a Diane awareness of like, wait a minute, what the fuck's going on here? Like, because it appears as though Diane was visited by Evil Cooper. Evil Cooper kissed her son and raped her. Horrible. And he must have done something to Diane. And this is like a fake Diane that he put in her place. She had her memories or not, who knows? But he controlled her, right? And obviously he commanded her to kill Gordon and the rest of the FBI agents. They obviously, Gordon expected it. They knew something weird was going on. And they shot her. And then she fucking disappeared or whatever the fuck happened to her. It was again another camera trick. They did cool camera tricks with her and also with the death of Richard Horn. So I love how David Lynch still to this day will play with like what you can do with the camera to kind of create effects, because that's what the pioneers did. That's what the innovators did. They didn't have CGI. They had to get creative with lighting and like manipulation of film stock, either by hand or by some other means. Anyway, I'm glad David Lynch is still using those methods, and they're interesting. Sometimes they look a little weird, but it's fine because the show is weird, so you can forgive it. Anyway, the girl called her. She's like, they're real. The girl agent. She said they're real, and she called her a limpa, something. They have a name for these things. I'm sure we'll find out a little bit more about that soon. Anyway, so then we see Diane in the Black Lodge. Then she like evaporates or whatever, and then becomes one of those golden spheres, which is a seed, which must have been a part of evil Cooper that he used to make her, right? And so when good Cooper told the one-armed man in the Black Lodge to make that he needs another seed, and then he gave him a piece of his hair, that's what I assumed was the process to create these things. And that's why I'm basically assuming that Mr. C did the same thing. Anyway, all right, so all that stuff happened. Fantastic. God, this is a really great episode. I'm just trying to kind of unpack the whole thing because like a lot happened, and there's a lot of pieces, and the pieces are really interesting the way they're put together. Anyway, I love the Cooper stuff, like with him leaving the family and him telling him that he's going to return to him. You can tell that he's happy because he has a family. Like, it is his family. That's really cool, despite like the horrible experience of whatever it is that he's been through. Like, throughout those 25 years, he did get this family that he loves, like he has a sincere love for them. And you saw it when he was Dougie and he was like appreciating the kid and he was appreciating the wife. And I knew that when Cooper emerged that he would have some sort of residual feelings towards them, because he was always a very sort of authentic feeling person in his portrayal. Anyway, then we get that fucking crazy scene in the Roadhouse bar. So we've been assuming that the Roadhouse bar was just the Roadhouse bar and shit was like normal there. But it potentially is some sort of other dimensional prison that fucking Audrey Horne is in. So these weird fucking scenes we've been seeing with Audrey Horne, they've been fucking weird as fuck, right? And I've been commenting on that. And it's all seemed very sort of like surreal, like otherworldly, really. Just like, it just didn't fit into what we were seeing before. And now we see more of that, right? Like her and her husband get to the Roadhouse, and then we see this awesome performance by Eddie Vedder, which was great. Once that's done, then they introduce Audrey's dance moment, where everybody clears the dance room, the dance floor, and then all of a sudden we hear Audrey's theme from fucking Twin Peaks, which we have not heard this entire series, the season. This new series, which is season 3 of Twin Peaks, but really it's something different and a lot better, I think. I think this is fucking top-notch shit. Anyway, we finally get her fucking theme. She does this beautiful dance by herself. It's like, it's really cool because like, she's an older woman now, back in the day, like she was like a full-on sex symbol, and she's aged, and generally in our society, we don't view older women as sexy. But I think David Lynch, what he wanted to do in that scene was just like show, like, hey, a woman can be sexy into her 50s, into her 60s, and like, look. That's sort of the effect that I got from that scene. I thought it was very beautiful. And then shit got weird with one of the guys in the audience attacking some other guy because he said his husband, because I think he was mad about maybe the other dude wanting his wife or some shit. And then Audrey telling her husband she wants to get the hell out. And then all of a sudden we get this weird fucking situation where shit gets weird. And then we see Audrey in like some white room. It's a close-up of her face. We see a reflection in the mirror. And she's wearing like some white clothes. And she's like, get me out of here or whatever. Or like it seems as though she's trapped there, and then the episode ends. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, so whatever Mr. C did to Diane when he went and he kissed her and he raped her and whatever, he must have done to Audrey too, because Richard is obviously his kid. So he screwed Audrey at some point. So he must have been with Audrey at some point. Maybe he raped her, maybe not. She did want Cooper back in the day. So, but when that happened, maybe he created a fake one of her as well, or whatever. Whatever he did to Diane, maybe he did to her, and maybe Diane is in a similar place to Audrey, or who knows. Audrey's in a fucked up place right now, and it's all because of Mr. C and her interaction with him, and that resulted in this kid who was like the devil, who's like the worst person ever, who ran over that kid. Oh my God, it was atrocious. Anyway, so yeah, shit's getting weirder and cooler. Like, I never imagined that it would come together so well, but it's coming together really well. Like, really, really well. I was just excited about, like, the filmmaking and, like, the fact that David Lynch was making this 18-hour movie. But, like, now that it's coming together, and it's coming together so wonderfully, and kind of bringing everything together and, like, really making sense of the nonsensical, but still maintaining that weird, like, Twin Peaks vibe, I think is genius, and I'm really happy that, again, we get to experience this. It's really fucking awesome, and I can't wait to see the last couple episodes. And, like, the head of Showtime this week, I read a tweet on Twin Peaks' Twitter feed. The head of Showtime said that this show is officially a financial success. So if that is indeed the case, then maybe they'll do more, because it seems as though everybody wants to do more. From the little that I've heard, it seems like they want to do more. So hopefully they will do more, and we'll get more. But if they don't, I hope these next 2 episodes fucking tie up this show really well, and like, and I think they will. I think they will, and I think we're gonna have a really sort of satisfying end to a 3rd season of Twin Peaks. And no matter what happens from this point forward, like, us, and definitely you, the hardcore Twin Peaks fans out there that have been fans for all these years, I will get to relish in this, and the wonder and joy of this 3rd season that is really surprising and fantastic, and just another wonderful gift that life has offered us here years after the fact. Anyway, that's it for this episode. I'll talk to you guys next week, and hopefully, there'll be a lot more to talk. I'm sure there's going to be a lot to talk about, especially with the last episode. Can't fucking wait. Anyway, thanks for checking out my YouTube channel. If you haven't already subscribed, you can do so down there. And if you haven't already, let me remind you, you should put an X in that box, folks, because ain't nobody checking me. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.